Jones reminded us in his great conversation with Stephen A. Smith that the NFL is the largest separation between ownership and labor. Jerry Jones believes in that more than any owner believes in that. Jerry Jones, when sitting across from Peyton Manning doing contract negotiations during the lockout, he talked to Peyton Manning like Peyton Manning was a little boy. And then when he couldn't get his way, he walked to the door, folded his arms, and waited for the rest of the owners to follow him, because Jerry Jones understands and believes that I've owned this team for the last 4 decades. You're lucky and blessed if you get 4 years.
And if he hadn't said anything down there on the sideline, was that a bad look?
It was a bad look, but I do believe him. He wasn't trying to be disrespectful to his teammates at all. But I do think he's trying to be disrespectful to Jerry Jones. I think that Jerry Jones has really raked his last nerves. I think that Jerry Jones and the things that he has said has really, really irked him and has offended him. He's been on the record. He's asked for a trade. He scrubbed his, social media accounts, in terms of his association with the Cowboys. You got Falcons fans screaming at him to come to the
Super Bowl money. You got to pay me. Super Bowl money. You got to pay me. Super Bowl money. You got to pay me. Super Bowl money. What it is, it's your boy Trauma. We back with another one. I'm a little under the weather, a little sinus infection, allergies, whatever. Today we're going to talk about this Jerry Jones, Micah Parsons. This might be one of the videos, topics that just really get to me. If you know anything about Jerry Jones, you know his history, you know his background. I insert a picture in here. He, of all the owners in the NFL, publicly stand on his square, pound his chest, told his sword, and publicly, profess his love for how he do business, right? He then came out and said, hey, this is how I've always done business. I don't need agents, which is against the NFLPA, right? But the NFLPA don't do nothing. And for all the NFL players, I know a few of them, played with a couple of them. This is where the NFL players need to step up and figure out and realize now more than ever that they need some adequate representation. Somebody that come from where they come from, understand what's important. If you look at the NFL owners and the NFLPA, they've been hand selecting who they wanted in there for the longest, and it is nothing but a puppet, right? It's like the U.S. government putting in a leader in Iraq or something. Like he ain't for the players, right? So I hear Ryan Clark and Chad Ocho. Ryan Clark would probably be a good fit for the NFLPA, for the Players Associations, for the players. Come from the players, understand what the players need. So for the NFL players, this is what y'all need to do, because this is going to get worse. When you have we can say he's the single most powerful NFL owner in football. Might be the most powerful owner in sports that owns a team. When he comes out publicly and says this, other people are doing it. But with no fear of retribution, this is how they do business. And again, Jerry Jones' track record says, hey, I'm the boss, I'm the owner, you the worker. That's what it is, right? We know what the NFL is made up of. We know the ethical background, right? But Jerry Jones is still one of the few owners. The Clippers owners was one. But Jerry Jones is still one of those owners that feels this I'm master, I'm boss, you work for me, right? And Micah might be the first player to stand on his square. DeMarcus Lawrence, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Elliott, Micah Parsons might be the first player to stand on Jerry's head and say, I ain't budget, right? And so this needs to be a lesson for all NFL players. You know, I'm not saying hold out, do this, do that, because this is the argument that I hate when I hear people say it. Well, he's under contract. Well, so what? He's under contract. When the NFL want to fire you, guess what they do? They fire you. When they want to cut you, they cut you. So I don't want to hear that under contract crap. I don't want to hear it. Because when the NFL, when the team and the owner want to get rid of you, you just out of there. That's it, under contract or not. So don't come back and say, well, you under contract, you should play. I don't want to hear that. And then he come out and say, well, you know, we got to puzzle pieces and we got to put it together where other players can play with them. We understand that. Tom Brady was probably the best player ever at his level of play to take team-friendly deals. But don't say that when you got CeeDee Lamb being the highest paid, you got Dak Prescott being the highest paid, and ain't none of them better than Micah Parsons. So the puzzle pieces and we need to get a team-friendly deal, I don't want to hear that, because out of all the people you gave max deals to, when you gave them their deal, they were the highest paid player at that position. So, and Micah Parsons is better than all of them. So I don't want to hear that puzzle piece. Then he said, oh, he was hurt and dealing with something. Look, this is what Jerry Jones does. Dak Prescott said it. You know, unfortunately, every year this is what we do. This is how we do business around here. But Jerry Jones has said on the Stephen A. Sit Down podcast that this is how he do business. And so the NFLPA looking at it and saying, hey, this is how you do business. Ex-players is coming out and said, hey, this is how he do business. When is he going to stop doing business like this? Because if it was a player doing business like this, it'll be a problem. So for the NFL players, you players, stop letting Jerry Jones strong arm y'all. Just stop. And Jerry Jones go at players. You know, I can imagine the players that ain't star players, what he do and how he get at them. It's stupid, right? But y'all allow Jerry Jones to do this. So Jerry, Micah might be the first player that you've ever had. The Deion, the Michael Irvins, all of them, the Emmitt Smith, that might stand on his square. So the ethical part of this, I think the NFLPA need to come down and do something. The NFL, the commissioner, ain't even said nothing. The commissioner ain't said nothing. Jerry Jones has been openly master. He done said it. Some of the comments he done made about black players, y'all know what it is. The man is a creep. Jerry Jones is a creep. He talk like it, act like it, walk like it. He's a creep. But at some point, somebody got to stand up. Somebody got to stand up. Dak Prescott saying something without saying much, because it's still that, you know, that's boss man. So people won't even say nothing. Micah, I want you to get your money. And every owner, when a player do this, they try to act like that player ain't for the team. But let me remind y'all, for the NFL players, let me remind y'all, one day your contract gonna come up. And be careful what you say and how you feel about another player trying to get paid and feed their family, because yours gonna come up and you're gonna be in the same position, especially if you play for Jerry Jones. So Dak or Micah, I hope you get traded to go somewhere where somebody value your ability and want to pay you right. I hope Jerry Jones don't get the benefit off your talent no more. I hope every other NFL player realize they need a change in the NFLPA. These owners going to talk crazy to you. They're going to start leaking different information about you. This is what ownership does. When the player want to get his money, they start leaking little stories. They start saying this and that. Owners do this. They some of the most cutthroat business people in the world. But when the player want to be cutthroat and everybody else want to pile on, well, he ain't doing this for the team and he disrespected. If he went out there and got hurt, Jerry going to say, well, we ain't going to pay him because now he hurt. He already said it. Oh, he dealing with a back injury. Like, come on, Jerry. Jerry Jones, all the owners, might be the worst throwback slave master, worker, segregation. Like, that's Jerry. Let me put the picture up again for you. That's Jerry Jones. So before y'all start talking and hoo-ha and rah-rah, look at the picture. Look at some of the quotes. Look at some of the things he done said about some of his black players. Go look at it. What owner, grown man, talk about another man's genitals? Who does that? Jerry Jones. This is the NFL, not Django. I'm just saying. Jerry Jones. I hope you lose his services. Micah, I hope you go somewhere where you welcome or you compensate it right. But more importantly, where you respect it. Treat it like a man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these owners want to treat these men like boys. You can't do that. I don't care if you're paying them. I don't care if you're paying them. A lot of these new age cats is coming in there, they softer. They willing to take certain things as long as they get paid. No backbone, no morals, no square. Micah got a square. He gonna stand on that square. I don't think Micah gonna ever play for the Cowboys again. I don't. I don't think he'll ever play for him again. Because I believe once he start holding out, week 1, if he ain't got it, he done. Cowboys gonna have to trade him. And to me, they should have traded him now before the season started. They would have got a little more. Once other teams see that Mike ain't gonna play, the value gonna go down a little bit. But for Jerry Jones, you expose yourself with Stephen A. You even comfortable enough to say the things you said publicly without fear of retribution. So that lets you know the NFL commissioner that come down on players for getting a DUI or whatever, getting into a fight at the bar. The NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell, you come down and suspend players all the time. You don't suspend owners. Washington Commanders owner, some of the stuff he was saying, y'all got together in y'all little good old boy club and said, hey man, let's just step down. Y'all never treat these owners like y'all treat the players. Jim Irsay was smoking crack and fondling, like, what happened? They get fines. So you see the difference when it comes to consequences from these owners and these players. The owners should be held to a high standard, just like the police, but it ain't never done that way. The players and the civilians are always held to the high standard, and I don't understand it. But Dallas, I'm not a Dallas fan. I really don't care where he go. I just hope he gets out of Dallas where, one, he's respected, and he paid. See, Jerry Jones, let me tell you something. The one thing you have to remember is money don't cure all. Maybe in your world. Some of the good old boys, they'll let you do what you want, say what you want, take their wife, take their kids, do whatever to get a deal done. Sometimes, where we come from, it's a few of us that still stand on our square. Micah, stand on your square. Till next time, your boy Trump.